What's up guys, it's Chris Majestic, and I apologize that it took this long to do this video, but almost 2 months ago I was invited out again to be one of the judges in this year's 2023 Laser TV Showdown. The Laser TV Showdown is an amazing event that is organized by Rob Sabin of Projector Central and hosted by Brian Gluck of ProjectorScreen.com. So if you've never heard of this event, it's in its second year, and it's an event where they put a bunch of the top ultra short throw laser projectors in one room for them to be directly evaluated by judges in a number of scenarios. And this year we had the opportunity not only to review laser TVs in this setting, but we also did the same thing with a bunch of lifestyle projectors, which I'll talk about later in the video. So there were a total of 15 projectors and 6 judges, and we spent over 10 hours testing all the projectors while scoring them in different categories on a scale from 1 to 10. And the judges consisted of several professional calibrators and reviewers with lots of experience with projectors. And these guys were absolutely awesome. Not only were they all really cool, but they were also super knowledgeable, and I was honored to work with them. So which projectors did we test? Well, we officially tested a total of 9 ultra short throw projectors, so we had a lot of options in the competition this year, and they range in price from as little as $1,900 all the way into outer space at $9,000. Alright, so I'm not gonna bore you with all the testing procedures and methods because Brian from Projector Screen did a great job of explaining all that in his video, but long story short, all the judges stood in a room with 10 ultra short throw laser projectors, and we scored them based on criteria such as color accuracy, contrast, black level, sharpness, and HDR tone mapping. Now before I jump into the results, I want to confirm that none of the judges were persuaded in any way to favor any particular projectors or brands in these tests, and Rob Sabin from Projector Central went out of his way to ensure that there was a fair and level playing field. So in this video I'm going to go over the results, and then I'll tell you the winners, and then I'll give you my personal thoughts. And as I always say, no projector is perfect, so I'll also mention some things I didn't like about each of the winners so you can paint a full picture. Alright, so the overall winner for Best Ultra Short Throw Laser Projector in this year's Laser TV Showdown was once again the Formovie Theater. Now after last year's event, I saw a bunch of people online saying they thought the event was rigged because some random Chinese projector won the event, but let me tell you, as much as it surprised all the judges compared to the projectors that cost 2 and 3 times the price of it, the Formovie Theater killed it in nearly all of the tests. It easily had better contrast, black levels, and shadow detail compared to the other projectors. And the most unbelievable thing about this projector is that it only costs $2,800 when it's on sale. This makes it a pretty amazing bargain considering it is one to shoot out 2 years in a row despite being the least expensive option. The only bad things I can say about the Formovie is that it's not the brightest ultra short throw, so if you care more about brightness than contrast and black levels, then that could be a problem. And other than that, I can also say that the Formovie Theater test unit that I have in my testing room isn't quite as sharp or as bright as it appeared in the showdown, so it's possible that the hardware has changed, or maybe there's some variance in hardware performance between units. Either way, it's no doubt that the Formovie is an amazing ultra short throw, and it's pretty amazing that it beat out projectors that cost significantly more. And the second place winner for Best Ultra Short Throw was actually a tie between the Hisense PX2-Pro and the Epson LS800. So when it comes to the Hisense, this is another projector that has very competitive pricing considering you can usually get it for around $2,800. And not only did the PX2-Pro have amazing sharpness and focus uniformity, but it also had really good color accuracy. Now as far as things I didn't like about the Hisense, I'd say it was probably contrast and tone mapping, as its performance in those categories was somewhere in the middle of the road compared to the other projectors. And when it comes to the Epson LS800, this was the only 3 LCD projector that we tested. The LS800 retails for around $3,500, and this is one of those projectors that doesn't usually score really well on paper, but it just looks subjectively better when compared side by side with DLP projectors. It's really bright, it doesn't produce any rainbow effect, it has fantastic motion handling, and it does a great job with tone mapping and color accuracy. Now as far as caveats, it goes back to what I said earlier. Considering it's not a certified 4K projector, it was one of the least sharpest projectors in the room. It also doesn't support Dolby Vision, which obviously kind of sucks considering most of the competition does. But if you can live with those things, it performs well overall. And the third place winner for Best Laser TV was the Leica Cine 1. Now this was a projector that I had never heard of before the event. Now I am familiar with the Leica brand as I've owned some of their high quality camera lenses in the past, but the Cine 1 is apparently their first attempt at a laser TV and they did a fantastic job. The Cine 1 is a triple laser ultra short throw that produces up to 3000 lumens of brightness, and it has some of the best sharpness and clarity that I've seen from a laser TV. Not only was it bright and tack sharp, but it also had fantastic color accuracy and tone mapping. The places where it fell short were black levels, shadow detail, and of course the price. With an insane retail price of $9,000, the Leica Cine 1 was easily the most expensive projector in the room. But with that being said, it was definitely a great performer and deserves to be listed as one of the best in terms of performance. And just in case you're interested in seeing all of the scoring results in one place, I'll put them here so you can pause the video and take notes at your leisure. And after the shootout, Rob also did some audio performance tests, so I'll also include those results here if you're interested in seeing that. Now when it comes to the results and my personal take on the event, I think the methods were solid and the scoring was fair. Now I know a bunch of you guys are probably gonna ask where are some of the bigger brands like Samsung and LG, and that's a pretty good question, especially considering the LG HU915QB came in second place overall last year. So earlier I mentioned that we tested 9 projectors, but we technically tested 10. The HU915QB was in the room alongside all these projectors, and it was professionally calibrated using Calman AutoCal. However, it seemed to be underperforming compared to the other projectors, especially considering its performance last year. So Rob thought it wouldn't be fair to include the results we got from it since they didn't appear to be indicative of its real capabilities. Now it does kind of suck considering I'm sure it probably would have been one of the best performers without the calibration issue, but I agree that it was the right move to omit it from the results. And Rob mentioned that he would consider comparing it to the winners of the event in the future to see how it performs, and I may actually consider doing this myself as well. And when it comes to Samsung, the LSP9T didn't really perform all that great last year compared to the competition, not to mention its price significantly higher than most of the projectors in the shootout. So in other words, I don't think there's any conspiracy or anything going on with cherry-picked projectors or anything like that, and these guys went far out of their way to ensure that everything was done fairly, and Rob has been very open about the logistics of the event. Now I mentioned earlier in the video that we also compared a bunch of lifestyle projectors. Now if you've never heard of a lifestyle projector, you're probably not alone. This is a fairly new category of projector that blends portability with bleeding edge projection technology into a product that's easy for anyone to use. In other words, if you're looking for a projector that you can pull out on special occasions and have it up and running in seconds and still produce a great image, then a lifestyle projector is great for that. Now in an effort to shorten this video, I'm not going to go too deep into the lifestyle projector shootout as I plan on doing a separate video on lifestyle projectors in the future, but I will show you the results. Now before I get into the results, I'll say that ranking the lifestyle projectors was probably the hardest thing to do at this event. They all looked pretty close with some minor benefits on some over the others. In other words, there wasn't a single projector that stood out far beyond the others. But the first place winner for best lifestyle projector was a tie between the Formovie X5 and the BenQ X3100i. Both of these are great projectors overall. The BenQ produced a nice cinematic image and the Formovie had good contrast and black levels. And the second place winner for best lifestyle projector was the Xgimi Horizon Ultra. The Xgimi had great color accuracy and was the only projector in the testing to use a hybrid laser and 4 LED light engine. It was also one of the few lifestyle projectors to support Dolby Vision. And the third place winner for best lifestyle projector was the Hisense C1. The C1 had the best sharpness and focus uniformity and it performed well overall. It wasn't quite as bright as the others, but it was a bit more cinematic with certain content. Now, as I mentioned, I will be doing some videos in the future on lifestyle projectors, but when I first went into this, I wasn't quite sure what to expect since I really wasn't sure what these type of projectors were for, but once I had a chance to see them all in the room, it kind of made sense. So definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel and stay tuned because I will be doing a video about lifestyle projectors. But overall, when it comes to the 2023 laser projector shootout, I think Rob and Brian did a fantastic job on this. These guys are absolutely amazing and a pleasure to work with. Putting together an event like this is a logistical nightmare, but they made it look really easy. I'm really honored to have been a part of it, and I appreciate the opportunity to have been a judge, meet some new people, and learn some new stuff along the way. But that's gonna pretty much do it for this video, guys. Hopefully you found it helpful. As always, go ahead and make sure you mash that like button for me. And if you're interested in buying any of the projectors that I mentioned in this video, be sure to look for links in the video description to projectorscreen.com, as those affiliate links go a long way to helping the channel. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.